All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the deep end, right into the shadows with Ebenezer Scrooge. This is it, the terrifying final warning in Stave 4 of A Christmas Carol. We're going to break it all down and pull out those key details and quotes that you are absolutely going to need for your exams.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll meet the silent guide. Then, we'll witness a death without mourners, explore some pretty intense contrasting emotions, see the name on the stone, and finally, hear a sinner's prayer. It's going to be a wild ride.
So let's get right to it with our first section, the silent guide. We're about to meet the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You know, Dickens just hits us with this immediately. Check out the language. Slowly, gravely, silently. Just those three adverbs, bam. The whole mood just drops. It's so heavy, so ominous. Think about it. This is the complete opposite of the loud, cheerful ghost of Christmas present. It's a classic Dickens move, using language to crank up that suspense.
And the spirit is completely silent. It's shrouded in black, and it never, ever speaks. It just points. And that silence, it's genius, really. It forces Scrooge, and you, the reader, to figure things out on your own. It creates this incredible tension, and Scrooge is just terrified. He flat out says, "I fear you more than any specter I have seen." I mean, think about that. This is not the same arrogant guy from Stave 1. He is completely broken.
All right, next up, a death without mourners. This is all about the consequences of living a selfish life. We're about to see how the world reacts when a certain unloved man dies. And yeah, you really want to pay attention to the total lack of emotion here. So where does the spirit take him first? Right to the heart of Scrooge's world, the London Stock Exchange. And we see these businessmen, guys Scrooge probably looks up to, just casually chatting about this man's death with this cold, chilling indifference. It's like they're talking about the weather. I only know he's dead. That's it. So blunt, so cold. There's no sadness, not even any surprise. It's just a fact. What does that tell you? It tells you this guy had zero real friends. His death is just news, a bit of gossip to pass the time before it's completely forgotten. And then you get this zinger. They're literally joking about how cheap his funeral will be because no one will even bother to show up. And this, right here, is the point. All that money he spent his whole life chasing, it bought him nothing. No respect, no love. His own funeral is a joke. Dickens is really going after that Victorian idea that wealth is everything, and he's showing us, plain and simple, it's meaningless without people. Okay, if you thought that was cold, just wait. The scene shifts, and now we're in this really grimy, rundown part of town at a pawn shop. And here we get to see how the poorest people felt about this dead man. Spoiler alert, it is not pity. So get this, the cleaning lady, the charwoman, has literally stolen stuff from his dead body. And her justification? Every person has a right to take care of themselves. He always did. I mean, the irony is just dripping off the page here. She is throwing his own selfish life philosophy right back in his face. It's like Dickens is saying, you taught the world to be greedy, and now look, they're using your own lesson against you. Wow, this quote just sums it all up, doesn't it? It's so chilling. His whole legacy is that he was so cruel in life, he just created a payday for other people in his death. And that laughter at the end, ha ha ha, it's just brutal. There is zero respect, only contempt. And then the spirit shows Scrooge the body. The description here is just so powerful. Plundered, alone, unwatched, unwept, uncared for. Just totally and utterly alone. And this is where it really starts to hit Scrooge. He's horrified. He tells the spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. You can feel the dread building, right? The clues are all there, but he just can't bring himself to say the name. Okay, section 3, contrasting emotions. Because it turns out there is one strong emotion connected to this man's death. And let me tell you, it is not grief. So Scrooge sees this young couple, Caroline and her husband, who owed this dead guy money. And what are they feeling? Total relief. His death isn't sad for them, it's a lifeline. It gives them hope. The man literally says their hearts can be light tonight. The death of another human being has made them happy. Just let that sink in. At this point, Scrooge is just desperate. He begs the ghost to show him some tenderness, any sadness connected to a death. And the spirit is like, okay, you asked for it. And it takes him to the one place we all know he's been dreading, the Cratchit family home, where, tragically, Tiny Tim has passed away. And Dickens lays it out for us right here, a perfect contrast. On one side, you've got a death that brings relief, pleasure, hope. On the other, you have the Cratchits, and their world is filled with grief, quiet, and just so much tenderness. You have two totally different legacies. Now, for your essays, this is gold. It's the perfect point of comparison to talk about Dickens' message on social responsibility and what it means to live a meaningful life. And all of this has been building to one moment. Section 4, The Name on the Stone. This is it, the final, terrifying revelation in a lonely, forgotten churchyard. Scrooge just can't take it anymore. He demands to know who this dead man is. So the spirit leads him to this grave, and it's totally neglected, overgrown with weeds, which is obviously a symbol for a life that nobody cared about. And then the spirit just points that long, silent finger. And there it is. Trembling, Scrooge leans in and reads the name on the stone. Ebenezer Scrooge. The man who was unloved, robbed, and completely alone in death. It's him. It was him all along. This is the moment, the final blow. But then, he asks this question. And this right here is the absolute turning point of the entire story. Are these the shadows of the things that will be? Or are they shadows of things that may be only? It's his moment of realization. There's a fancy literary term for it, anagnorisis. He finally gets it. Maybe, just maybe, the future isn't set in stone. He sees a tiny sliver of hope that he can actually change this. And that brings us to our final section, A Sinner's Prayer. Faced with this horrible fate, Scrooge just completely breaks down and begs for another chance. He gets it now. His only shot is a total, complete transformation. And listen to what he says. He's not just trying to get out of trouble. He promises an altered life. He's ready to change who he is at his very core. And in that moment, for the very first time, the spirit's hand actually seems to tremble. Maybe, just maybe, it feels a bit of pity for him. And here is his big promise, the vow that proves his redemption is for real. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. He's basically promising to live by everything he's learned from all three ghosts. This is the peak of his journey, and it sets us up perfectly for the happy ending we get in Stave 5. So I want to leave you with this question because it's something Dickens kind of leaves hanging in the air. Is Scrooge's big change genuine? Did he have a real change of heart? Or is he just scared stiff of ending up in that lonely grave? It's a fantastic question for your own analysis. Does it even matter why he changed as long as the results are good? Definitely something to chew on. That's all for this explainer. Thanks for diving in with us.